What is up, guys? We're back with another UFC fight prediction video. Figured I'd do the fight night as well, because why the hell not? I think you guys are loving this shit, and I have a good feeling I'm going 100% on my picks tonight. So let's get right into it. First off, we've got a light heavyweight bout. Dustin J. Guys, the names I'm not great. This is an easy one, but I'm just saying still. I want everyone to keep in mind I'm bad with the names. Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. The odds aren't even up yet for these, so I'm early. I'm early on this time. All right, so let's see what we got here. As we know, Julius is the bigger guy, and he has the reach advantage, but I don't think that's going to help him in this fight. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't see that being a really great. This is only his third fight in the UFC. I think he's. Let's just click on him. Let's see. Yeah, I believe he is only. Yeah, won one, lost one. So he's fought Menafield and he lost. However, Dustin also fought Menafield and won. Granted, it was via decision, but still a win. They're both coming off a win though, so we're seeing some guys who are hot. They're active. They're ready to get this shit done. Fucking Dustin's had 14 wins by knockout, and I really think we might see a 15th knockout win here for UFC Fight Night. I'm really thinking that might be what goes down. So yeah, pretty like similar stats. I think the biggest difference is going to be just overall experience. That's like kind of what I'm thinking is going to be the biggest problem for Julius Walker here. I think Dustin's got way. I mean, obviously he's 21-9. However, Julius is 7-1, only taking one loss. But I think that's because he's so fresh to the UFC. As we know, this is where the greatest of the greats come to fight. So I think that's what we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see any grappling. I think we're going to see everyone on their feet. Like I said, like their grapplings, they don't do a lot. Got good takedown defense, but they don't throw a lot of takedown averages. Or I guess he's got. I didn't really know this. I don't know a lot about these guys. I'll be honest. So we could see some potential takedowns. Could change the way of the fight. We don't have any odds yet, which is kind of interesting for my predictions. So I'm going based off, just research and stats here. No odds to sway my opinion. A little more interesting that way. But moving on, because we actually have 6 fights on the main card instead of 5. We got fucking Jean Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. All right. Jean's 17-1. Farid is undefeated, 14-0. Both coming off a win. And both great fighters, honestly. Here's the problem, right? Farid is just a better. He has what I like to call systematic MMA style, which is, where he's like he's got this built-in system that he goes to almost every single time, and you kind of see it in all his fights, and he's definitely the more well-rounded fighter. He's got okay stand-up. Stand-up's not bad. I do think Jean here has the better boxing. Like, he's a better technical boxer. He's also may be the one to put on, like, you'll see his foot on the gas. We might see him pressuring Farid a little more than, I think Farid will be fighting a little bit off his back foot in this fight. Now, in the UFC, Farid's had either decisions or submissions, so I don't think we're going to see a knockout from this guy. Jean Jean's had 16 knockouts, and he's coming off 2 TKO knockouts or TKO finishes. His last loss was to Shara. I think both these guys' last loss was to Shara. Yeah, Shara Bullet. And Shara Bullet's a fucking animal. So for that to be one of his losses, his one and only loss, makes sense. So I think this could be a very competitive fight, but I do think Farid's going to sneak out with the win in this one. I think it'll probably go the distance unless it goes to the ground, in which Matsumoto might be submitted. We'll see, but yeah, I'm thinking Fareed's going to take this one. Where's he from? Oh my god, what is this? The UFC needs to update their shit. They don't even have me. I think he's from like Afghanistan or some shit, though. I promise this isn't racism. I actually think he's from Afghanistan. All right, moving on to the middleweight bouts. I'm not even going to attempt this last name. Look at this. Look at this. Give that a shot, everyone at home, because I'm not going to. I'm assuming that's McCall versus Marc Andre. Finally, a name that I recognize a little better. I mean, it's a fight night, you know. I wasn't expecting to know everyone. But we've got McCall versus Marc Andre here. This is going to be a good bout. McCall's a little shorter. Same reach, though. Pretty much similar leg reach. Marc Andre's coming off a loss. McCall's coming off a win. So, who did McCall beat? Okay, yeah, he just beat Mirshkaret here in August of last year. He's got 16 wins by knockout. That's actually insane. Oh, dang. Yeah, okay. So he's coming off 2 knockout TKOs, and I think that in my notes I switched that up between the last 2. So my bad for that one. Let me just run back down here. Yeah, okay, so he does have some grappling, but Fareed's going to definitely take the win here. Sorry about that, guys. All right, McCall definitely is the better fighter, in my opinion. Now, they both have a wealth of experience inside and outside the UFC as far as mixed martial arts goes. So that's kind of an interesting thing to see, where they're both similarly have like a similar number of fights, very close. You know, records aren't terrible far off. I think this will be a very entertaining fight. I think his last loss was also to Shara. Yeah, so they both lost to Shara, hence the matchmaking of this fight in general. That makes a lot of sense. Canada versus Poland. Interesting toss-up on this one. So the biggest thing for Marc Andre is he's fought good guys. Like, he's fought Curtis Blades. He's fought Shara, obviously. He fought Joe Pyfer. So he's in no way a stranger to having to fight guys that are really good and potentially better than he is. I do think that's what we're going to see here with McCall, though. I think McCall is the better fighter, and I think he will definitely be able to put Marc Andre to sleep. Not gonna lie, I think we're gonna see a knockout or TKO within the first 2 rounds of this fight. You know, he's not gonna want to hit that double-digit loss record. So we'll see how this goes, but I'm going McCall. All right. Now, these are the fights I'm hyped for. Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kanaev. Oh my god, the names. I can't. Now, Kanaev is the bigger guy, but not necessarily the longer guy, because we see Jailton's got a 3-inch reach advantage over him, and I think that could play a big part in how this fight might play out. Not that Jailton has great striking, but I think it's going to lead to a takedown for him. Yeah, so he's got the reach advantage. He's a grappling first kind of guy, Jailton, and he has next level top control. However, Rizvan is from Dagestan. Fuck, you know? And honestly, almost never bet against a Dagestani. Are you stupid? But I'm going to do it anyway. I think Jailton's taking this fight. Are there odds for this yet? No odds. Who knows what the fucking odds are, but I think Jailton's going to win this. I mean, they're both coming off a loss. Rizvan, I think, lost to Curtis, and Jailton lost to Volkov. So fighting great guys, that's like the biggest deal, is that he's fighting really good people, and the hype train for him was absolutely insane, and he's still ranked in the top 10. So I don't know who Rizvan thinks he is, not even ranked, going to come in here and beat Jailton, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, for a Dagestani, we're not seeing the best cardio from him either, which is interesting because they're usually great cardio guys. I know he's weighing a lot more, and that could be a problem. I see maybe some teep kicks being a problem for Jailton. He's got a nasty teep. But all in all, I think Jailton's going to be able to get him to the ground and submit him within the first 2 rounds. I think it's going to happen, man. All right. Next up, flyweight bout. Amir Al-Bazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Hey, I think that was pretty accurate. I think that was pretty close, guys. So, let's see what we got going on here. Now, Kyoji Horiguchi, if you guys remember, was great early, like 2015, 2016. He's really good. He actually fought DJ Mighty Mouse, so he also has a wealth of experience within the UFC. He took a long sabbatical. Damn, I was going without my notes, guys. I'm crazy. He took a long sabbatical from, I think, 2016 to 2025. Who did he just fight? He just fought Nurmagomedov, I believe. Let me look. Oh, no. He just fought this guy who looks like a Nurmagomedov. Yeah, so he won that one. That was his first fight back after his long... I'm not sure what the... Honestly, look at the kid's name. The Karate Kid? Like, come on. Come on. Come on. This guy's gonna fucking win. Come on. Amir. It's over for you, pal. It's just over. Now, notable win over Kai Kara France, who I think is a really great fighter. Lost some of his hype as well. Dude, the recency bias is insane. It's only getting worse. It's literally only getting worse. I believe that wasn't his last... Oh, yeah, he lost to Brandon Moreno. And Brandon Moreno's a fucking animal, so that loss is, not that crazy. I'm not in shock by that. But he's fighting good guys. He beat Kai Kara France, who I think is really great. I think this is a good matchup. Not my most confident pick. I do believe this is our... Yeah, because even though Kyoji's the heavy favorite, this is only going to be his second fight back after almost 10 years not fighting in the UFC. I'm not sure what I don't know if he's fighting in other promotions or what. But as far as that's my only concern here. This guy's only got 2 losses. Amir's only has 2 losses, so he hasn't really lost that much in his career. And he needs a win. He just lost. He needs a fucking win. Not that he doesn't, because he's getting back into it, and if he wants to make a title run, he's got to lock in and get this shit done. But at the end of the day, I'm going with Kyoji, the Karate Kid. How can you not vote for a guy named the Karate Kid? That's just basic. The main event, Mario Bautista versus Vinicius. I don't know. Vinicius? I have no idea. Oliveira versus Bautista. All right, now. Both have only lost 3 times. 16-3 for Mario, 23-3 for Oliveira. Oliveira's on a 4-fight win streak. Ooh, he's coming off a loss. Who did he lose to? Umar. He lost to Umar. And honestly, people had Umar as like a negative fucking 1,000 favorite. It was close. I mean, it wasn't that close, but it was closer for being that much of a favorite. I was in shock. I thought he handled himself very well and had an excellent account of himself versus Umar. I saw him fight. It was a great fight. I bet against him, unfortunately, actually, because he lost, but I was nervous watching the fight. I was like, holy shit, this guy's about to fuck up my parlay. But this time, he's going to help my parlay. He's going to fucking bring it home. He's got the reach advantage. Other than that, fairly similar stats. Lock Dog over here, I believe that's his nickname, but he is not a lock dog. As a matter of fact, he's gonna lose to Mario Bautista. That's what I'm saying. Mario Bautista's got a good rec. He's beat Aldo, he beat Patchy Mix, and oh, everyone thought Patchy Mix was the greatest thing to come to the UFC, you know. And guess what? Mario whooped his fucking ass, no fucking problem. Also, the hype train after I don't even know if he fought after that. He's done now. I think he got cut. Mario just beat his ass too bad. Here's the thing. Mario's a more measured striker. Oliveira is definitely the more aggressive striker, but Mario is 100% a better striker. More measured, more calculated, and that's going to what's ultimately lead him to the win. Does he have knockout power like Oliveira? Probably not, but he's going to take it home. He's going to get the fucking job done. Mario Bautista, what's his nickname? Sometimes I pick fights based solely on the nickname. Oh my god, does this guy not have a nickname? Holy fuck, I may have to change my pick now. Whatever. Mario's winning that shit. These are my picks for the UFC fight night. Subscribe if you agree. Like if you don't agree. Also subscribe if you don't agree. Also like if you agree. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Peace.